Welcome to the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video, where better sleep starts with better understanding.
Today, we are diving deep into a really powerful drug-free solution for chronic insomnia. You know, if you've ever felt like your brain just refuses to switch off at night, well, this one's for you.
We've all been there, right? Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying every little trick you've ever heard of just to fall asleep. But what happens when it's not just one bad night?
You see, for the millions of people dealing with persistent insomnia, the problem goes way deeper. It's actually this vicious cycle, where all the worry and frustration and the weird habits we develop, they literally train our brains to stay awake.
So let's unpack that cycle. It's not just random bad luck that keeps you up. There are really specific psychological and behavioral things that lock this whole pattern into place, night after frustrating night.
And here's the crazy part, the real paradox of insomnia. The more you try to control sleep, to force it to happen, the more likely it is to backfire. You end up with this performance anxiety about sleeping, which just makes you even more alert. It is such a frustrating, self-fulfilling prophecy. So this cycle, it's got a few key players. Over time, you can accidentally teach your brain to see your bed as a place of frustration, not rest. Your mind just starts racing. That's what experts call hyperarousal. Then you worry about not sleeping, which of course makes you more awake. You start believing things like, oh, I just can't function without a full 8 hours. And then you develop these habits, like spending way too much time in bed, which ironically just leads to more broken, unsatisfying sleep.
Okay, so how in the world do you break a cycle like that? Well, it's not with some magic pill. It's actually with a whole new set of skills. Let's talk about something called Cognitive Behavioural Therapy for insomnia, or CBT-I for short.
And look, this isn't just some new trend. We're talking about major health organizations all agreeing, based on tons of research, that CBT-I should be the go-to, first-line treatment for chronic insomnia. It's what you should try even before considering long-term medication.
What's really important to get here is that CBT-I isn't something that just happens to you. It's an active program. You learn very specific skills to tackle those exact factors we just talked about, the bad conditioning, the racing mind, the unhelpful thoughts. You're basically retraining your brain how to sleep properly again.
So let's open up the toolkit. Let's look at the actual practical techniques that make CBT-I so incredibly effective.
Now, this first one is going to sound completely backwards, but trust me, it is so powerful. Instead of spending more time in bed trying to sleep, you temporarily restrict it. So if you're only actually sleeping for about 6 hours a night, you only get to spend 6 hours in bed. What this does is it builds up this really powerful natural sleep drive, making the sleep you do get much deeper and more solid.
The next tool is called stimulus control, and it is all about rebuilding that connection between your bed and actual sleep. The rules are pretty simple, but you have to be strict. 1. Only go to bed when you feel sleepy, not just tired. 2. If you're awake for more than, say, 20 minutes, get up, go to another room. 3. The bed is only for sleep. No more watching TV or scrolling on your phone in bed. And 4. This one is crucial. Wake up at the same time every single morning, no matter what. Oh, and 5. No nap.
This is where the cognitive part of CBT-I comes in. It helps you catch, challenge, and reframe thoughts just like this one. I mean, is it really true that you absolutely can't function? Or is it just unpleasant? This cognitive therapy part helps you break that habit of catastrophizing a bad night, which lowers your anxiety and makes it way easier to sleep the next night.
Okay, this all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But what does the actual science say? Let's take a look at the hard evidence behind CBT-I.
So, get this. This number is just staggering. According to major scientific reviews, somewhere between 70 and 80% of patients with chronic insomnia see real significant improvement from CBT-I. I mean, that is a huge majority of people finding lasting relief. And we can see just how big those improvements are when we look at the data. This effect size thing is just a way to measure impact, and anything over 0.8 is considered a large effect. And look at this. CBT-I has a massive impact on your overall sleep quality. It dramatically cuts down the time it takes you to fall asleep, and it reduces the amount of time you spend lying awake in the middle of the night.
And this is really all about the long game. Sure, medications can give you some quick, short-term relief, but the research is pretty clear. Once you stop taking them, the insomnia often comes right back. The skills you learn in CBT-I, on the other hand, they create benefits that last long after the therapy is over, because you're actually fixing the root problem, not just putting a Band-Aid on the symptom.
So we've seen that CBT-I is the gold standard, right? It's super effective and its benefits stick around. And that brings us to our final and kind of puzzling paradox. Even with all this proof and the fact that patients really like it, most people with insomnia are never even offered CBT-I. It's still this specialized treatment that's hard to find, while prescriptions for sleeping pills are handed out all the time.
And that's really the big question to think about. We have this powerful, evidence-based solution that empowers people to take back control of their own sleep. So the biggest challenge we face isn't proving that it works. We already know it does. It's figuring out how to get this life-changing therapy to all the people who really need it.
Thank you for watching the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video. We hope you sleep well and dream easy.